Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today, bringing you guys the finale of Naruto, chapter 699 review. And it is sad because Naruto has been a series that has touched the hearts of many. That's very obvious. And for me, who has followed the series for roughly speaking 8 years, to see it end as if like there's some type of weird fantasy aspect to it. Like you never really believed that it was gonna end, and all of a sudden when you find out that after this week there is no more core story of Naruto, you're like, shit. Like it really shocks you. But at the same time, you knew it was gonna happen. You knew that once the 4th grade ninja war started, the series would reach its end. And over the course of the years, because Kishimoto kept on extending it, kept on prolonging the story and doing certain things, you figure, okay, fine, so Kishimoto, he's gonna just continue on this train. And then, slowly but surely, the train comes to a stop. And for many folks, it felt like a screeching halt, because we find out, like 5 weeks ago, or like, give or take 6 weeks ago, that the series was going to end. And you're like, damn, like only 5 or 6 weeks? So, it is surprising, and for many people, they do find it jarring. Folks were sending PMs how it was really sad to see this chapter, these two chapters, 699 and 700, folks were crying, or allegedly crying in their comments. And thing here is that you had other folks say, like, finally, goddammit, the torture's over. It is done. A sigh of relief. And you're going to have mixed feelings when it comes to a series like Naruto that has a lot of controversy when it comes to predominantly so the second half of the story, and more so the 4th grade ninja war. And you're going to have mixed reactions for the final chapter, because folks are clearly not appeased. Folks are appeased. They are satisfied. And that's just the way it is. So, I'm here today to talk about this chapter specifically, because this chapter, the way they did it, meaning Kishimoto, the way he did it and his directors, is you have, or I should say his editors, not directors, yeah, his editors. They pretty much made chapter 699 more so of a Sasuke chapter. And then chapter 700 is more so of a Naruto chapter. If you actually go through this chapter, Naruto says very few things. And mainly, it's just like a Sasuke internal monologue when you see this transition in time. And this final transition of Sasuke's character. This is Sasuke's final transition as a character in the Naruto story. And whether or not he actually does something in the mini-series that comes out in spring 2015, I mean, no one really knows, but it's not going to be, like, I wouldn't count it as an actual transition of character for the main story, because it's a damn mini-series. Now, before I get to the Sasuke stuff in the chapter, I want to talk about the other things that the chapter comprised of. First of all, obviously this is the end of the 4th grade ninja war. It is over. The saga that is the 3-year 4th grade ninja war, the 3-year plus 4th grade ninja war is done. And what you have here is the tree of Genesis being undone by the chakras of Naruto and Sasuke. So even though they lost their right and left arms, therefore they've lost their yin and yang arms, if you would, it doesn't change the fact that they still have these powers inside of them. So it's like a forever thing. I mean, Sasuke still has his Sharingan. And Naruto, I mean, because based on movie photos that we've seen of the last, it doesn't look like Naruto can use his Gudo-dama. But the fact of the matter here is that they still have these powers. And they deactivate the Tree of Genesis. They deactivate Infinite Tsukiyomi. And obviously, they close off from there with the 4th grade ninja war, with everyone pretty much having been freed. You have folks like Dari rescue the people from the Cloud Village inside that gourd. You have folks like the Raikage, Hokage, like they're just chilling pretty much. You have Yamato, which really surprised me, I'm not gonna lie to you, because Yamato, it wasn't like it was stated that he was dead, but given the hints within the story, you assume that he was going to be dead because A, he had used up so much chakra in order to feed these Zetsus. B, the fact that his body was used as like a host for the Spiral Zetsu. And C, the fact that the Spiral Zetsu was using a lot of chakra to begin with to make like all these giant like... I've got like, yeah, like that wood Buddha thing. So the fact of the matter is that Yamato's still alive, and that surprised me a lot. So yes, it wasn't confirmed that he was dead, but the fact that he's alive, and we only see him for like one panel, and that's it over. Like nothing in chapter 700, nothing. He's just there in chapter 699. What the fuck? So it is what it is. It is what it is. Yamato was never really that big of a character on my list anyway, so whatever. Now, when it comes to Kakashi becoming 6 Hokage, for me, I understand that when it came to, for example, Ryuzen, he was 3rd Hokage, stepped down, and let Minato take over. So in this case, when it comes to Tsunade, I guess it makes sense too. Tsunade, 5th Hokage, stepped down willingly and let Kakashi take over. Though I find it a little bit odd because, given the circumstances, it would seem very abrupt and random. Okay, fine, so the war just ended, I'm going to step down. But then again, we don't know. We don't know how much time has passed. And that's one thing I think bugs me a lot when it comes to these two chapters. We have no sense of time. We don't know how much time has passed since the end of the 4th Great Ninja War to the end of this chapter particularly, and then chapter 700. So, no idea. And that does bug me. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, finally, I want to talk about... Because Kishimoto is known for his symbolism. How it's very subtle, it's hidden. But this chapter starts off with a very abrupt, a very distinct, a very boisterous form of symbolism. You have, obviously, the seal of reconciliation, and bam, the fingers of Hashirama and Madara. You have Sasuke and Naruto, as if Hashirama and Madara, their spirits, which are now Naruto and Sasuke, which were, back in ancient days, Indra and Ashura. They have come to terms. Like, throughout history, throughout generations upon generations. According to the movie context, Toneri says 1,000 years since the era of the Sage. Therefore, we can say 1,000 years of generations. It looks like all of them have reconciliated. Bam! Done. The fighting is done. The brothers will no longer fight. I mean, I can't really... Fine. Fine, because I'm trying to... Just fuck it, man. I'll take it, but there are some clear faults with that concept. And the fact that it was so abrupt, like, bam, that to me, I find displeasing. But this is the finale of Naruto, and I guess in that sense, it is to be expected. Fine. Now we go over to the Sasuke stuff. And again, this chapter is predominantly Sasuke before he leaves on his own journey to see the world in a different perspective. Because according to him, when he saw the world, his vision wasn't clear. Naruto chased him down. In my mind, he stalked him because he really did stalk him. He said, leave me alone. He continued to follow his ass. Like, I'm not going to leave you alone, man. We're friends. I want to force you to be my friend. Like, that's crazy. Think about it for a second, right? You have someone like Sasuke said, dude, I don't want to be your friend. Leave me the fuck alone. And you have Naruto. I'm not. I'm, in essence, going to force you to be my friend. And we're going to fight. And when we do fight, we're both going to die. So, to me, Sasuke, what he's saying within the context of his chapter about how like Naruto did all this for him, he even lost an arm, even though within the mind of Sasuke, it's as if like Sasuke did wrong. In my mind, it's kind of like, but that's Naruto's fucking fault. Like, why should you take blame for his actions? Why should you take blame for his stupidity? You didn't ask for Naruto to chase you down. No! It was Naruto himself. So, that to me I find ridiculous on a lot of levels. But, of course, what I find ridiculous does not change the fact that Sasuke himself admitted blame and, he took blame. So, it is what it is. Now, we go over to what's happening with him and Sakura, and pretty much, like, we can see, I suppose, the sprouts. The sprouts. I mean, let's just say we get to see the start. I'm trying to make it, like, symbolic with, like, trees and plants and shit. It ain't fucking working. I'm not Hashirama. I just can't make flowers and wood dragons out of nowhere. I can't do that. But what I can say is that, simply put, it looks like this is the actual start of their love story, of their relationship, Sasuke and Sakura. And he pokes her on the head like Itachi would do to him all the time. To showcase his love for his little bro, he's showcasing his love for her and how he thanks her and how it's his own journey. He's going to come back at some point, and he does, obviously, based on chapter 700, and that's the way it is. So Sakura's happy, he's happy, and everyone's happy. Now, the last one I want to talk about here is how when you have Sasuke pretty much, again, he's going over all of this and how he was wrong and how, like, he may understand Naruto's feelings now because the way Naruto saw him as a brother when he was on his journey around the world, he also had these feelings apparently lingering inside of him too, and how Naruto, simply put, alright, he wants to understand Naruto's feelings. Now, I could easily point back to my man Uchiha Madara, who wanted to de-weaponize chakra and reinstate ninja. Why? Because with ninja, you wouldn't have to try and understand someone's feelings. You would so automatically, because that is the nature of chakra in of itself, without the whole weapon part. So, again, like, the more I think about it, the more I say to myself, Madara was fucking right. Like, Madara's way was the right way. It was the highway. It was the best way. But, again, what I think doesn't change the fact that this is not happening. So, if I was behind the scenes writing Naruto, oh, damn, this would be a completely different story. And it would get, like, 18 million sales per year at least. At least, on minimum. On minimum, son. Shit. I'm just saying. Now, thing here, I mean, I can't draw, but whatever. That's just if I was writing the story, obviously. Now, here's the thing, though. When it comes to the wrapping up, when it comes to the final moment of Sasuke's transition as a character, he's pretty much just breaking down all of his previous ideals, ambitions. Remember the whole taking upon the burden of everyone's darkness and being, if you would, the deliverer of dark justice from the shadows, the Batman, without the whole killing part. And my thing here is that when you have ideals and when you have convictions like that, and then you have them just break down in one instance, in one particular moment, because something happened that didn't go according to your ideals, to your beliefs. To me, I find it a little bit displeasing, especially when your ideals and beliefs are backed up with actual, with, at least in this aspect of the story, some sense of reality, with some sense of possibility. Because Sasuke, in essence, at that point in time, was someone who was on godly level. He could do what he envisioned himself to do. That's very true. He could do so. But, again, he had their battle with Naruto. He kind of lost. And apparently he had these subconscious feelings that he never told anyone about. And then he just gone. So, now, another factor of this that kind of irks me is the fact that Sasuke, his ideals and his ambitions did not encompass himself per se, but more so the entire world. It was the entire world that he was doing this for. He was willing to bear the burdens of everyone's darkness on the entire planet. But when when he has this transition as a character, this transition leads to going back to just me and Naruto and what Naruto feels. I mean, now in the chapter, to be fair, they do have this quote, and I'll read to you because I saved the page verbatim. During my journey around the world, I thought to myself that this feeling might not exist just between us, but it might apply to even more things, bigger, greater things. But not everyone is able to do the things you can. And it probably won't always go as planned either. Just look how we turned out. And with bigger things, it'll only get harder. So my thing is that obviously they're trying to reincorporate the greater good of humanity into this particular feeling of understanding other people's feelings and camaraderie and brotherhood and reconciliation and so on and so forth. But we're getting back to this whole extreme idealism, which I'm not a fan of, and it ends off on that note too. I mean, let me turn the page, because I can't flip a damn monitor, obviously. I mean, I'm not that hacks. I wish I was. But moving on, the last quote you see, or that you read, I think it's a lot like faith. To keep believing, trying, and enduring until you finally become able. Because people entrust us to their hopes and rely on us to carry on. Perhaps that is what makes us ninja. Now, the concept that which defines Sasuke's endurance, the whole shinobi kanji, it also means endure. Sasuke, he was enduring the brunt of humanity's darkness. But now, it's more so, I'm trying to make a system, or I believe that at some point we'll get to a point where we can all, as humanity, we can all endure all the darkness that humanity creates. So something along those lines. And it's that whole hoping and believing and faith. And I understand that hope is a very powerful thing. But at the same time, when you transition from a system that is in place where you have a plan, well organized, and you have you have all these things that seem to have a very solid framework, and then you just bash that shit down because of faith and believing. I'm like, fuck. God damn it. You had a system, you had a plan, you had a mission, and you have the power to carry out the mission, the plan, the ambitions. And yet, faith and hope breaks that down. So again, for a lot of folks, it sounds nice, but that's really all it is. It just sounds nice. I mean, that's why it has ties to the whole faith thing. Because it sounds nice. It sounds appealing. But the reality is so far from. So, Sasuke seems to be appearing for relative peace and momentary comfort, aside from having what may be eternal peace for long periods of discomfort. So, again, for me, it's yeah. And finally, the last scene, the whole passing down of the returning of the headband. That's cool. Even though there's things in the chapter that I don't like, that's cool. I like that. That to me was heartwarming. That to me was genuine. That to me is dope. That's some dope ass shit right there. Because that headband means a fucking lot. It means a lot because that headband has some deep ass history of the rivalry between Sasuke and Naruto. It represents the fight that initiates what is the largest part of Naruto, the time skip. And then him giving back the headband, it is the closing. It is the wrapping up. It is tying the final bow on the package that is Naruto, the series. I like that. In fact, honestly, you didn't even need Chapter 700. If you ended the series on that, fuck it. Good. Perfect. Done. But they chose to make Chapter 700, which, okay, fine. That to me should have been like a bonus chapter, to be quite honest. I see Chapter 700 as a bonus chapter. In reality, Chapter 699 is the end chapter. That's the way I see things. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, overall, that to me I like a lot. That to me is dope. And I will leave it at that. So, the chapter overall, I like the end. Everything else I have conflicts of, obviously. I'm not going to give it a rating because it's the end, and I figure I just be as neutral as possible. So I went easy on the live reaction, but when it comes to the actual chapter review, I need to go in because nigga Sasuke made a huge ass transition of character that I do not find appealing at all. But hey, it is what it is. So, King of Lightning, rate the video, comment, subscribe, look in one of the emblems to see Chapter 700 review, and I will see you guys, because mind you, even though this series is over, there are still things that have to be done, like episode reviews, like discussion videos, and so on and so forth, that I need to accomplish, or not need to. There's not a gun to my head like finish your shit, but I want to do them because I had planned to do them for a very long time. In fact, next week I kind of want to do like a Naruto live stream because I do have the time, I believe, so next week. So I'll let that be known. And also, before you go, I have made a Twitch account. It's called KOL Gaming. So if you want to, because I do plan on playing some video games at some point, either later on in the month. I am going to get Kingdom Hearts 2.5. Fuck you, and if you are interested in gaming, then hop on that. I'm going to put that link also in the box below. My new Twitch account, which has nothing on there yet, but it will soon, I promise you. So, King Lightning, rate the video, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a nice day.